be quite straightforward. Every robot that you have on site, you need, so for every bot that you have, the more orders site you have, you need a certain amount of staff. And say, and depending on what the damage rate was of the bots, and I kind of will improve that over time. They probably worked out that you probably need, like maybe 30, 40 people on a, or maybe no, that's quite a lot actually. Probably about 20 engineers on site covering the whole grid, covering the tech, covering the bots at any one time for a smaller site. And that's probably their million. So let's do some maths quickly. Let me just do some maths quickly.
Yep.
Okay, so what did you say? You said 3 million, did you?
Yeah, about 3.5 million was kind of the implication.
So
at full
capacity.
Think,
yeah, and then that's full capacity. What sort of site? 300? What sort?
350. Yep, 350.
350. Okay. The 350,000 orders per week, yeah?
That was 350 million total sales capacity for the year from the facility.
Do you know what the average average order value would be, probably?
I think we've seen estimates of about $100 here in the U.S.
Okay.
So that would be, what would that be? That would be was that 75-ish pounds?
Yeah, just 75. Okay, so 75 tons of order. That's the way I look at it. I think if you have 20 for a site that could do 350,000 divided by 52, that's probably a 10,000 order site. Broadly, okay. It's a small site, yeah. A 10,000 order site, yeah. From my perspective, shouldn't have an engineering cost of more than maybe £1 an order at the very most. So assume £1 an order at the very most, I would have thought. And so, so 10,000 divided by.
That would be.
So maybe on site, maybe about six staff or 7 staff, engineering staff running the bots. But I think there'll be a tech team supporting the tech, which might be 5 or 6 staff on top of that too, or 4 or 5. But there might be a global team. You would have thought. But there would have been you would have thought there would have been a tech, an ongoing tech charge, like an annual tech fee. And like an annual license fee covering the tech. That would be part of that cost too. So although you say 1%, I think the 1% would just cover the engineers on site.
Okay. Oh, that's kind of helpful. I mean, you're basically saying for 10,000 orders a week, you need 6 or 7 engineering staff, and so if it was 20,000 a week, does it double, or is it you get some? Yeah.
Look, because what happens is the bots break down, right?
Yeah.
And so there'll be people looking after the bots, there'll be people looking after the grids, and there'll be people looking after. You would have thought the incumbent, so Kroger, would have had people managing the lights and their own staff, their own engineering staff managing the lights and managing the water supply and managing, the vans and managing, emergency exits and stuff like that. This is solely for the grid and the bots. You would have thought 6 or 7 staff managing that piece, maybe 2 or 3 staff, IT staff, constantly on support at tap, So just supporting that 10,000 orders per week site, but that 10,000 orders, those 10 I think could scale quite well. What won't scale is the maintenance. So if you go from 20 to say 30,000 orders, what happens is the number of breakdowns increases by volume, and so you need to scale the people that are going to fix the bots. The more bots that are out, it means that the less that the grid can pick, which is it becomes less efficient, right? So the certain amount of stuff will be scaling with volume, and certain will be fixed, I think. But that doesn't sound too off the wall. Once the grid is up and once the robots are working, 6 or 7 to look after the bots in the grid sounds fine, and then maybe 2 or 3, maybe 3 IT guys on support, making sure the algorithms work effectively.
Okay, that's helpful. What about one of the other interesting things that's been got our attention is the supplier income. I mean, Ocado's gotten that up to almost 4% of revenue now, I think, last year. Do you have any thoughts on kind of what the ceiling could be here? I mean, that's the type of lever to me that, if they're able to continue to really drive that, I mean, it might allow for delivery fees to come down and things like that. Any thoughts on that idea?
Yes, I was really close to that because I was one of the guys that was pushing for that in the early years. So, I mean, I think what it becomes is when you go online, the beauty is that everything can be measured. Everything is documented, and everything can be analysed and evaluated. So the first thing is we started that advertising income also includes stuff like charging suppliers for defective products and things like that. And whereas most suppliers, most grocery businesses that are split over hundreds of stores, trying to get effective analysis on defective products, and the reverse logistics is non-value add from them. So whereas for us, it's quite good because we can tell the customers, so we can tell the suppliers how we want things done. And so what we used to do is we used to charge the suppliers for listing SKUs, giving feedback on their SKUs. We used to charge them for if things got damaged, why they got damaged. And then on top of that, that's one end. The other end is obviously the advertising income that we generate. The supplier funding was just huge because everything can be measured. Suppliers want to know where it's selling, what's selling, who's buying it, what kind of people are buying it. And then we were selling data back to them, as well as the web space selling, which is the more traditional form of supplier funding. But but the key thing was like selling information back to them about their products, who's buying it, why they're buying it, running offers and promotions for them and giving them feedback on real time on how it's going. And we got to a point where we had suppliers paying our staff costs to basically do analytics for them in-house. I mean, we took this to quite a different level, right? There was a lot of things we were doing because we realised that actually suppliers are willing to pay an arm and leg for anything and everything, because they haven't got the connection with the supplier, with the customer. We have, and the more information you give them, the more tailored they can make their products. And some of them were like Procter & Gamble were just paying us to have analysts sitting in Ocado, paid by. They were paying Ocado analysts for their full salary to do analysis for them. It was crazy. But that's where it was going. But what we were doing is, the whole thing works for Ocado because as you get more volume,